The Galactic Empire had seen thousands of worlds, ruled hundreds of species, and crushed every army that dared to resist them. To them, power was everything, and fear kept the galaxy silent. But one day, strange signals came from a small blue planet in the Milky Way. The planet's name was Earth. At first, the Imperial Council ignored it. The humans were a minor species, too young and too small to matter. Then the signal changed. It wasn't just static anymore. It carried a short, clear message, translated into every known galactic language. To all who hear this, stay away from Earth. You are not welcome here. The Empire's leaders laughed. Stay away? From them? One admiral sneered. How can a single planet order the Empire around? To prove their strength, the Emperor sent a scout fleet, a dozen ships to inspect the human world. They expected no resistance. It would be a simple mission. For 3 days, the fleet traveled toward the solar system. Everything was normal, until they crossed into Earth's territory. Suddenly, the ship's systems began to flicker. Navigation failed. Communication vanished. Sensors went dark. Something is wrong, said Captain Varn, commander of the lead ship. Power loss. Across the fleet, a crew member shouted. Then one by one, the ships disappeared from the radar. No explosion. No distress call. Just gone. Back at the Imperial capital, the news spread fast. The Emperor refused to believe it. Mechanical failure, he said coldly. Send another fleet. Double the size. 2 days later, a second fleet entered Earth's system. This time, they came prepared. Weapons charged, shields raised, scanning everything. But the same silence surrounded them. No planets defended Earth, no ships in orbit. Just calm radio waves, soft static, and that same message repeating. You were warned. The admiral leading the mission decided to ignore it. Fire on their communication satellites, he ordered. But before a single weapon could be fired, the stars around them flickered, as if space itself had blinked. Admiral, one officer whispered. Whoa, what was that? Then came the final transmission ever received from the fleet. The admiral's voice was trembling. They are here. They are watching us. End transmission, static, silence, nothing more. The Emperor smashed his throne's armrest in anger. Impossible, he shouted. No one destroys Imperial ships without leaving a trace. He demanded answers. Scientists searched every record. Strategists studied every pattern. But there was nothing. No debris, no signals, no survivors. Only the warning remained. A single, unchanging message circling the stars. Stay away from Earth. Some whispered that Earth was protected by ancient weapons, relics from a forgotten age. Others believed the humans were more than they appeared. But the Emperor refused to believe in myths. No planet can defy the Empire, he said. Prepare a full invasion fleet. We will crush them and make an example of this Earth. Yet deep within the Imperial archives, one old historian trembled as he read a hidden file. It was written long before the Empire existed. It spoke of an ancient race, a strong, ruthless, and silent. A race that once ruled the stars, then vanished. The historian looked at the name on the file. His hand shook. Homo sapiens. He whispered to himself. They gave one warning, and the Empire didn't listen. Outside in the cold void of space, the blue planet waited quietly, calm, peaceful, and deadly. The humans knew they had been seen. And they were ready. The Emperor could not forget the silence. 2 fleets gone without a trace. No wreckage. No distress signals. Only the echo of that warning. Stay away from Earth. The Galactic Empire had ruled for thousands of years. Never had anyone dared to defy them. To lose even one ship was shameful, but to lose 2 entire fleets was unthinkable. The Emperor summoned his top scientists, admirals, and spies. Find out who they are, he ordered. If this Earth has power, I want to know its source. The Imperial Research Council studied everything. They analyzed human broadcasts, music, movies, and old news from centuries past. Humans looked primitive, emotional, even weak. They still used simple machines, fossil fuels, and small satellites. Pathetic, said Admiral Kor, head of the Empire's defense force. They live like children. Their threat means nothing. But one scientist disagreed. They are hiding something, she said quietly. Those messages. The precision, the timing. It feels like they're watching us. The Emperor ignored her warning. Then we will test them again, he said coldly. This time, the Empire sent a diplomatic ship, not a warship. It carried envoys, translators, and signal drones. Their mission was simple: make contact with Earth and demand an explanation. As the ship approached the solar system, everything seemed calm. The sun burned bright. The planets moved in silence. Earth looked peaceful: blue oceans, green land, white clouds. Then the ship received a signal. It wasn't human voice, not at first, just a pulse, rhythmic and slow. Then words appeared on their main screen, glowing white. Turn back. The captain frowned. Identify the source, no response. Send a message, he said. We come in peace. We are representatives of the Galactic Empire. For a moment there was nothing. Then a voice answered, calm, emotionless, but powerful. You were told to stay away. You did not listen. The captain's hands trembled slightly. We only wish to speak, he said. The voice replied, there is nothing to discuss. Leave now and never return. Suddenly the ship's system started to fail. Lights flickered, engines roared, alarms blared. The crew panicked. Power drop. Shields gone. Navigation offline. Through the window they saw something impossible. The stars around Earth seemed to shift, forming shapes like massive shadows moving in the dark. Then, out of nowhere they appeared. Black ships, silent and enormous. They had no visible engines, no lights, no markings. Just smooth, dark hulls that absorbed all light. The captain whispered, they have warships. Hidden in orbit. Before he could react, a beam of blue light surrounded the Imperial vessel. All systems froze. The crew couldn't move. They couldn't speak. Then the voice returned, closer now, echoing in their minds. Your empire has made its choice. And with that, the Imperial ship vanished. Back on the Emperor's command world, they waited for contact. Hours passed, days, nothing returned. Finally, one small probe drifted back from the edge of Earth's system. Its memory core held a single recording, just one sentence. This is your final warning. The Emperor watched the message in silence. His generals waited for orders. Then he spoke, his voice cold and sharp. Prepare the invasion fleet. Far away on the quiet blue planet, Earth's defenses stirred, invisible, ancient, and ready. The Emperor's palace was silent. Every leader in the Galactic Empire waited for his command. 2 fleets and a diplomatic ship had vanished near Earth, but the Emperor's pride was greater than his fear. Enough warnings, he said coldly. If these humans think they can frighten us, we will show them what true power means. Across the stars, the Empire began to prepare for war. Massive shipyards glowed under the light of distant suns. Thousands of workers built warships day and night. New weapons were loaded, weapons that had destroyed entire planets in the past. The generals gathered inside the Imperial War Hall. A giant hologram of Earth floated in the center. Admiral Kor stood proudly. It's a small planet with limited defenses, primitive technology. Once we reach orbit, it will fall in hours, the Emperor nodded. Good, make it quick. Leave nothing standing. But not everyone agreed. One old scientist stepped forward. Her name was Dr. Mira. She had studied the signals from Earth for months. My Emperor, she said carefully. They are not what they seem. Their technology looks weak, but it hides something deeper. The energy readings around their planet are... Enough, shouted Admiral Kor. You speak of ghosts and shadows. This is a war, not a research project. The Emperor raised his hand, ending the argument. Prepare the invasion, he ordered. Soon the Grand Fleet assembled. 10,000 warships, the largest in Imperial history. Battleships, cruisers, and carriers stretched across the stars like a metal storm. As the fleet prepared to jump toward the solar system, messages poured in from across the Empire. Some citizens cheered for victory. Others whispered in fear. The stories about Earth were spreading fast. Ships disappearing, strange voices in the void, shadows moving among the stars. But the Emperor ignored the rumors. Fear is for the weak, he said. We are the Empire. We will not bow to a small world of savages. When the fleet launched, the stars themselves seemed to tremble. Every ship jumped into hyperspace, a river of light cutting across the galaxy. Hours later, the fleet arrived near the edge of Earth's system. The blue planet hung quietly in the distance, small and calm, as if waiting. Admiral Kor smiled. So this is Earth, it looks harmless. Do not underestimate them, Dr. Mira warned again. Their silence is dangerous, Kor ignored her. All ships advance. The Imperial fleet spread out in perfect formation. Scanners searched every planet, every moon. Nothing unusual appeared. No defenses, no fleets, no signals. Then something strange happened. Every Imperial ship received a single message at the same time. It was not sent through normal channels. It came from everywhere and nowhere at once. Turn back now. This is your last chance, Kor laughed. They think words can stop us? He looked toward Earth and said proudly, "Begin the attack." But before the order could be completed, every screen on every ship went black. Lights dimmed. Engines stopped. A cold voice echoed inside their minds, calm, emotionless, and human. The Empire was warned. Outside, the stars began to fade, and something vast started to move in the darkness. The invasion had begun, but not the way the Empire expected. The Empire's grand invasion fleet hung in silence above the solar system. 10,000 ships stood still, drifting without power. For long minutes, no one spoke. The stars outside looked dim, and Earth shone quietly in the distance, calm, blue, and mysterious. Then, one by one, the lights came back on. Engines restarted, systems returned. Every officer took a deep breath of relief. Admiral Kor stood on the command bridge, forcing a smile. Power restored, see? Just a simple disruption, he said proudly, but inside he felt a chill. Sir, said his communication officer, we are receiving no external signals. It's like the universe is silent. Kor frowned. Continue the mission. Begin planetary scans. Dozens of probes launched from the fleet, flying toward Earth's orbit. They sent back images, blue oceans, green lands, white clouds. Everything looked normal. Too normal. There are no defense stations, said one officer. No satellites. No energy weapons, nothing. Dr. Mira watched the data carefully. No defenses at all? Impossible, she whispered. Every advanced planet hides something. Look deeper. The probes dived lower into the atmosphere. For a moment, everything seemed peaceful, until one of the probes suddenly vanished. No explosion. No warning. Just gone. What happened? Kor demanded. Unknown, sir. It disappeared without a trace. Another probe vanished. Then another. Within minutes, all signals from Earth were lost. Dr. Mira's eyes widened. They're not destroying them. They're taking them. Kor turned sharply. Taking them? For what? I don't know, she said. But something down there is watching us. I can feel it, the Admiral ignored her again. Enough superstition. Send a stealth team to the surface. I want answers. A small squad of Imperial spies left their ship and entered Earth's atmosphere. Their mission, to gather data and find whatever was hiding below. When they landed, they expected to find cities or defenses. Instead, they found silence. The landscape looked empty. No humans, no movement, just wind and waves. One spy looked around nervously. Where are they? The cities we saw from orbit? Then the ground beneath them shimmered like water. The images of empty fields dissolved, and what appeared below made them freeze. Gigantic towers rose from hidden bases. Whole cities glowed beneath energy shields. Enormous machines, black and silver, stretched for miles under the surface. It was all an illusion, one spy whispered. They made us see what they wanted. The team tried to transmit their discovery back to orbit, but their radios were dead. A strange signal jammed every channel. Command, do you read me? The captain shouted. We found static, silence. Then a voice came through the comms, not from the Empire, but from somewhere deep below them. Calm, steady, human. You should not have come. The captain's face turned pale. Who is this? Identify yourself. You were warned, the voice said. Now you will see the truth. The air around them began to hum. The ground shook. The sky above turned red. Back in orbit, Admiral Kor waited for their report. Minutes passed. Then hours. No reply. Finally, Dr. Mira spoke quietly. They're gone. Kor slammed his fist on the control panel. Enough games. Ready all weapons. We attack at dawn. But far below, deep inside the hidden cities of Earth, the machines began to awaken. Their lights flickered to life one by one. Humanity had been patient long enough. The sun rose over Earth, but from orbit, it looked calm. Too calm. The Galactic Empire's grand fleet surrounded the planet like a ring of fire. Thousands of warships hovered, ready to attack. Admiral Kor stood proudly on the bridge of his flagship, the Iron Flame. His eyes burned with pride and anger. Today, he said, we end this human arrogance. He turned to his officers. Target every major city. Prepare to fire on my command. Dr. Mira stood at the back of the bridge. Her face was pale. "Admiral, please," she said softly. "You don't understand what you're dealing with. Earth isn't what it seems." Kor didn't listen. "I've had enough of your fear. They hide behind tricks and illusions. We will burn away their lies." The fleet's weapons powered up. Energy filled the silence of space. Thousands of cannons aimed at the blue planet below. Kor raised his hand. Fire! A second later, the darkness of space exploded with light. Beams of plasma and missiles streaked toward Earth, faster than sound, unstoppable. But before they could reach the surface, the sky itself changed. A glowing shield bright as the sun appeared around the entire planet. The weapons hit it and vanished. No explosion, no impact. Just silence. What happened? Kor shouted. "Direct hit, sir," said an officer. "But—" All weapons disappeared on contact. Kor slammed his fist on the control board. "Impossible." "Fire again!" The fleet unleashed another wave. The same thing happened. The missiles vanished into the shimmering light as if space had swallowed them whole. Dr. Mira watched the readings. Her voice shook. "That shield, it's not just energy. It's rewriting matter itself." "What does that mean?" "It means," she whispered, "our weapons never existed." Kor glared at her, furious. "Nonsense." But before he could speak again, the shield around Earth began to pulse, slow, steady like a heartbeat. The fleet's sensors went wild. Energy readings spiked off the charts. "Admiral," said the officer, panic in his voice, "something's coming from the surface." From the shadowed side of Earth, something massive began to rise. At first, it looked like a mountain breaking through the clouds. Then the scanners revealed its shape. A ship larger than anything the Empire had ever built. Black, smooth, silent. It floated upward without engines, surrounded by light that bent reality itself. Kor stepped back. What is that?" Dr. Mira whispered. "It's human." The massive vessel stopped in front of the Imperial fleet. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a voice echoed across every ship, calm, powerful, and human. "This is your final mistake." Every Imperial ship froze. Systems locked. Weapons shut down. The stars seemed to darken as the human ship's shadow spread across the fleet. Admiral Kor shouted, "All ships, retreat! Now!" But it was too late. The human ship released a silent wave of blue light. It passed through every Imperial vessel without sound or fire. Then, nothing. One by one, the Empire's ships went dark. Their lights faded. Engines stopped. Silence filled the void. Only Kor's flagship remained active. On his screen, the human ship hovered silently. Then the voice returned, colder this time. "You were warned." The transmission ended and the iron flame's lights went out. From Earth, the sky looked peaceful again. The oceans shimmered. The clouds drifted. The world below was quiet, waiting for what would come next. Silence filled the solar system. The once mighty galactic fleet was gone, erased without fire, without sound. Thousands of ships had vanished, leaving only drifting debris and darkness. In the command halls of the Empire, panic spread. No one understood what had happened. Every sensor, every probe sent toward Earth was lost. No signal ever returned. The Emperor sat alone in his throne chamber, staring at the glowing map of the galaxy. The region around Earth was now completely black, a dead zone. No communication, no light, no hope. "What did they do?" he whispered. His advisors argued and shouted. Some said Earth had used forbidden weapons. Others claimed the humans were not a normal species, that they were something else entirely. But the Emperor refused to believe in legends. "They are mortals," he said. "They can be destroyed. We will find a way." Still deep inside, fear began to grow. Far away, near Earth's moon, a single Imperial ship remained functional, the Iron Flame. Admiral Kor and Dr. Mira were alive, but their ship was dead in the water. No power, no engines, no escape. They drifted quietly, staring at Earth through the window. The planet looked peaceful again, as if nothing had happened. "What now?" Kor said bitterly. "They could destroy us at any moment. Why don't they finish it?" Dr. Mira watched the sensors. "Maybe they want us to see," she said. "Maybe this is their message." Then the space near the moon shimmered. Something was coming. Massive shapes appearing out of the void, slowly fading into sight. Ships. Hundreds of them. Black and silent, with no visible engines, no markings. They looked ancient, their hulls smooth like glass, glowing faintly with blue light. Kor's mouth went dry. Human ships, Each one was larger than the Empire's biggest battleship. They moved like shadows, perfect and silent, forming a ring around Earth. One ship, the largest of them all, approached the iron flame. Its surface opened, revealing a glowing core that pulsed like a heartbeat. A calm, human voice spoke through the comms, deep, powerful, and steady. Your empire has taken much from this galaxy. You bring fear wherever you go. That ends now. Core tried to respond, but his voice trembled. Who are you? The voice answered, We are the descendants of those who built the stars. We are humanity. You were warned to stay away, Dr. Mara whispered. They've been here all along, hiding in plain sight. The human ship released a small wave of light. It touched the iron flame, and suddenly their power returned. Systems came online again, one by one. Core looked confused. They restored us? The voice spoke again. Return to your emperor. Tell him this. Earth is not his enemy unless he makes it so. Then, in a flash of light, the human fleet disappeared. Completely gone. Core and Mara sat in silence. For the first time, the Admiral felt fear, real fear. They could have destroyed us, he said quietly. But they didn't, Dr. Mara nodded. That's the difference between them and us. As the iron flame drifted away from Earth, Core looked back one last time. The blue planet glowed softly beneath the stars, calm, powerful, and untouchable. For the Empire, it was a warning. For humanity, it was only the beginning. The iron flame returned to the Imperial capital in silence. Admiral Core said nothing during the long journey home. His face was pale, his pride broken. Dr. Mara spent the trip studying the few readings she had recorded near Earth. The data made no sense. Energy levels that should not exist. Signals that came from everywhere and nowhere at once. When they arrived, the Emperor demanded answers. What happened out there? He roared. Where is my fleet? Core fell to one knee. They are gone, Your Majesty. Every ship destroyed, without a single shot fired. The Emperor's eyes burned with fury. Destroyed by what? Core hesitated. By humans, Your Majesty, or by something they control. The court fell silent. Everyone stared at him in disbelief. Humans? One general scoffed. You expect us to believe a primitive species has power greater than the Empire? Dr. Mara stepped forward. They are not primitive. They are hiding technology beyond anything we've ever seen. She placed her data disk before the Emperor. These readings come from their planet's core. It's not natural. It's a machine, the Emperor frowned. A machine? Yes, she said softly. Earth itself is alive with energy. Something ancient sleeps beneath its surface. The Emperor leaned back in his throne. Explain. Dr. Mara took a deep breath. I believe humans are not a young race. I believe they are old. Older than the Empire, maybe older than the galaxy itself. They once ruled the stars, and then they vanished. The room erupted with disbelief. That's impossible, shouted one officer. They would have left records. Dr. Mara shook her head. They did. You just never recognized them. They left ruins on other worlds long before the Empire existed. We thought they were myths, relics from unknown builders, but they were human. A heavy silence fell over the chamber. Core finally spoke. Your Majesty, when we were near Earth, they could have destroyed us. But they didn't. They let us go. They said they were not our enemy, and unless we made them one. The Emperor stood, his voice low but shaking with rage. So they pity us now? No, said Mara quietly. They warned us. The Emperor turned toward his generals. I will not be warned by ghosts. Prepare every ship, every soldier. If these humans think they can frighten me with stories, they are wrong. But deep down, even he felt something he hadn't in centuries. Fear. After the meeting, Core found Dr. Mara alone in the archives, staring at ancient holograms. What are you looking for? He asked. She pointed at an old map, a map of the galaxy before the Empire. Look here, she said. These stars, the ones we avoid, the ones marked forbidden, every one of them once had human colonies. Core's eyes widened. You mean, yes, she said. They never disappeared. They just went quiet. Mara turned off the hologram and looked at him, and now they've woken up. Outside the capital, the stars flickered, as if something ancient was watching once again. Humanity had returned, and the Empire's time was running out. The news of what happened near Earth spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Every planet, every empire, every colony was talking about it. The mighty Galactic Empire, undefeated for thousands of years, had lost its greatest fleet to a single world. No one could believe it. Some said it was a lie, a cover-up for an internal failure. Others whispered the truth, that the humans had returned, and they were far beyond anything the galaxy understood. Within days, panic began to grow. On the trade worlds, people fled cities, afraid that the humans would come next. Merchants closed their businesses. Ships stopped traveling through human space. Whole sectors went dark, blocking communication to avoid being noticed by Earth. The galaxy had not felt fear like this in centuries. In the imperial capital, the Emperor grew restless. He could feel the fear spreading through his empire like a virus. Protests broke out in the lower cities. Soldiers questioned their orders. Everyone wanted to know one thing: who are the humans? The Emperor ordered silence. Any mention of humans is forbidden, he commanded. But it was already too late. The truth was out. In secret, ambassadors from other civilizations gathered far from the Empire's control. The reptilian Threx, the crystalline Venner, the insectoid Krav, old enemies, now met together for the first time in history. They all had the same fear. The Threx leader hissed, "If the humans could destroy the Empire's fleets, they can destroy us all." The Venner representative replied softly, "Then we must not fight them. We must offer peace." The Krav general slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Peace? You saw what they did. You think they care for peace?" A long silence followed. Finally, the Venner spoke again. "Perhaps they are not here to conquer. Perhaps they are here to remind us that power has limits." No one dared to answer. The Threx leader hissed, "If the humans could destroy the Empire's fleets, they can destroy us all." The Venner representative replied softly, "Then we must not fight them. We must offer peace." The Krav general slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Peace? You saw what they did. You think they care for peace?" A long silence followed. Finally, the Venner spoke again. "Perhaps they are not here to conquer. Perhaps they are here to remind us that power has limits." No one dared to answer. Back on the Imperial homeworld, Dr. Mira was under watch. Guards followed her everywhere. She had discovered too much, and the Emperor didn't trust her anymore. But in secret, she kept studying the data she brought from Earth. Every night she looked at one strange signal, a pulse coming from deep space. It wasn't random. It was a countdown. One night Admiral Kor found her in her lab. "Mira," he whispered, "you're still studying that signal?" She nodded. "Yes, it's not a weapon. It's a beacon." "They're not hiding anymore," Kor frowned. "A beacon? For what?" She looked up at him with quiet fear. "For the others. Earth wasn't the only human world. There are more out there, watching, waiting." Kor felt his heart sink. "You mean there could be entire fleets like theirs?" Mira nodded. "Yes, the Empire thought it ruled the galaxy, but humans were here long before us. And now, they are coming back." Outside the Imperial capital, the stars began to shimmer with faint blue light, one after another. Across the sky, Kor watched from the balcony and whispered, "They're already here." The galaxy held its breath. For weeks, strange signals pulsed across every communication channel. No one knew where they came from. Not even the most advanced scanners could trace them. They weren't in any known language, yet everyone felt the same chill when they heard it. It sounded human. In the Imperial capital, chaos ruled. The Emperor demanded answers, but no one had any. Every time his scientists tried to decode the signal, their systems failed. Machines melted. Data vanished. It was as if the message did not want to be understood. Not yet. Admiral Kor and Dr. Mira were summoned once more. The Emperor's face was pale, his voice sharp. "You two have dealt with them before. You will tell me what this means." Mira looked at the flickering hologram, a stream of light and sound repeating endlessly. "It's not a message of war," she said softly. "It's a message of warning," Kor frowned. "Another warning?" "Yes," she whispered. "But this time not just for the Empire, for everyone." All across the galaxy, the signal suddenly changed. It became clear, translated into every language at once. Every species, every ship, every planet heard the same calm human voice. "To all who hear this, we are the descendants of the first civilization. We walked among the stars before your empires were born. We built, we watched, and when the galaxy burned with greed, we left. But now the balance has been broken. You have forgotten what respect means. You have turned peace into slavery. We warned you once. This is the last time. The voice paused. The entire galaxy was silent. Even the Emperor did not breathe. Then the message continued. Stay away from Earth, stay away from human space. If you come again, we will remind you why your ancestors once feared the dark. And then the signal stopped. Across the galaxy, lights flickered. Stars dimmed. Power grids failed. For exactly 7 seconds, every ship and station went dark. When systems came back, something had changed. Massive unknown objects appeared near dozens of major planets. Silent black ships with glowing blue cores. They didn't fire. They didn't move. They just watched. People screamed. Governments panicked. The old alliances began to collapse. Every world that once laughed at the idea of humans now lived in fear of their return. In his palace, the Emperor stared out the window at the sky. A dark shape floated above his world and motionless, enormous, and silent. He clenched his fists. They're showing us they can reach anywhere, he muttered. They want us to submit. Dr. Mara stood beside him. No, she said quietly. They want us to remember. Kor looked up at the ship and felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. Maybe, he said, this galaxy needed to be reminded who came first. That night, from every dark ship a final light shone, a single, blinding pulse that spread through the stars. It formed a message, visible to all who looked up. Do not fear us. Fear what you have become. Then the lights faded, leaving only silence. The galaxy would never be the same again. The galaxy had gone silent. The mysterious message from humanity echoed in everyone's minds, a warning that could not be ignored. For the first time in history, every great power hesitated to act. Even the mighty Galactic Empire, once feared by all, stood frozen in fear. The Emperor had not slept for days. His once proud armies were restless, his people terrified. Above his homeworld, the black human ship still hung motionless in orbit, a silent shadow that never left. They're not attacking, Admiral Kor said quietly. They're just watching. The Emperor's voice was low. They want us to live in fear. Dr. Mara shook her head. No, they want us to change. The message wasn't a threat. It was a test. The Emperor turned to her, eyes filled with anger and exhaustion. A test? Yes, Mara replied. To see if we've learned anything from all the wars, the blood, the arrogance. They are waiting to see if we can become better than we were. The Emperor laughed bitterly. And if we fail? Mara looked toward the stars. Then they will end everything. In the far reaches of the galaxy, strange lights began to appear. Massive portals of blue energy opening near dead worlds, barren moons, and ancient ruins. From each portal, human ships emerged, sleek, silent, and glowing with power. But this time they did not come as conquerors. They came as watchers, rebuilding the forgotten places of the galaxy. They restored dead stars. They healed planets destroyed by greed. They rebuilt colonies that the Empire had abandoned long ago. Where humanity walked, peace followed. Across the galaxy, people began to whisper a new word. Respect. Even those who had hated the Empire now followed the humans' silent example. On the Imperial capital, the Emperor finally made a decision. He called Admiral Kor and Dr. Mara to his throne room. I will speak to them, he said. Kor looked shocked. To the humans? Yes, the Emperor said softly. If they are to judge us, they should hear our voice first. A channel was opened. The dark ship above the planet responded instantly. A human face appeared, calm, expressionless, eyes glowing with faint blue light. The Emperor bowed his head. You warned us. We did not listen. We have seen our own cruelty. Tell me, what must we do to make peace? The human's voice was steady and calm. Peace cannot be given. It must be chosen, he paused. You built your empire on fear. Build a new one on understanding. Protect the weak. Share knowledge. End slavery. When the galaxy no longer trembles under you, we will know you are ready. The Emperor nodded slowly. And if we fail? The human's eyes glowed brighter. Then history will end where it began. With us. The image vanished. For the first time in ages, the Emperor felt something new. Humility. He looked at Kor and Mara and said quietly, Then we begin again. Outside, the black ship drifted away from the capital, vanishing into the stars, across the galaxy. Other ships followed, silent guardians returning to the void. Humanity had come not